All right, everybody. So I'm already screwed. Fantasy football sucks. Jordy Nelson sucks. He got hurt. He ruined everything. I had drafted him in a fantasy league, and that fantasy team's going to lose all the games now. Every single one. I dropped him and picked up Jeremy Langford. Because why not at this point, right? My whole wide receiver rankings are a little screwed up now. They're a little wonky. I had Jordy Nelson in there before, and I was pretty proud of the fact that I had him in there. He's a great wide receiver. He's got Aaron Rodgers throwing in the ball, and yeah, Randall Cobb is there, but still, 1,500 yards. That's awesome. That's fantastic. I'm excited about that. But now everything's different. So this is life post Jordy Nelson getting hurt. At number 5, we have none other than Megatron Calvin Johnson. I know you're thinking, Calvin Johnson, this is a great guy. Why is he at number 5? Golden Tate's there. Suddenly they decided they want to really have a strong run game in Detroit. And Abdullah's doing fantastic things. He's going to do even better things as the season progresses. So carries are going to affect the touches. They're going to affect the passes. Golden Tate's going to catch the ball. It's just things aren't looking as good for Calvin Johnson. He's not the only option anymore. But to move on, this is where it gets tough for me. It really does, because a lot of people are going to want Odell Beckham Jr. to be here. They're going to want him to be here. But I think, although he is such a highlight reel, and we're going to see him on ESPN's, top 10 plays, probably multiple times throughout the season, we're going to have more freak stuff that he's going to do. It's going to look like Madden. But I think that's about what it is. He does those big freak things, and defenses are going to catch up. They're going to get more coverage on him. Eli's going to look elsewhere, and he's going to throw the ball elsewhere. And a little sleeper hint, I think Victor Cruz is going to be really good this season. Not anywhere near top 10 good, but he's going to be a really good option to have. So pick up Victor Cruz instead of Odell Beckham, because Odell Beckham's going to get all the attention, and Cruz is going to be salsa dancing in the end zone. But anyways, number 4 has to be Julio Jones. Good things going on for the Falcons. They're moving back up. They are getting the coaching staff fixed. That defense is going to be good. They're going to be tough for once. And because of that, the offense is going to be on the field. And they're going to be throwing the ball. They don't need garbage time minutes or anything like that to inflate the numbers, but they're still going to throw the ball a lot. And the run game hasn't been working out for them. So, Matt Ryan's definitely going to throw the ball to Julio Jones. Roddy White, getting a little older, so he's going to have less of the burden on him. Julio Jones is what I would go for. Going in at number 3, Demary Thomas. If you've watched any of these videos that we've done in the past, or maybe listened to the Onside Kick podcast, you know that I'm a little down on the Denver Broncos. Kubiak likes to run the ball. He loves draw plays, especially on third down when you're like 10 yards away. Loves screen passes. Demary Thomas isn't necessarily the guy who I expect to get a lot of those screen passes. Yeah, he'll still get the quick throws and still get yards after catch. So that always does help for sure. But even with that being said, that I think that the ball isn't going to be thrown as much. Peyton Manning's at the end of his career. People seem to be running away from Denver at all costs right now, even though Peyton Manning is there. It's amazing to me that they don't have more options, especially Wes Welker. I don't get why he's not on the Broncos still. But Demary Thomas is the option. He's the one that Peyton Manning is comfortable with. And yes, he likes to throw the ball around. Demary Thomas is going to be getting the ball constantly. There's not the other Thomas, Julius Thomas, there anymore as that solid option. The run game will be a heavy factor, but because of the fact that there's nobody else there, I think Demary Thomas is going to have the ball in his hands pretty much every passing play. Not every passing play, but pretty much every passing play. But to move forward to number 2, Dez Bryant. The run game is gone. There is no run game in Dallas anymore. Dez Bryant's going to have the ball nonstop. He's just going to catch the ball all day. Tony Romo's going to throw it to him all day. I don't think this is a recipe for success. I think they can be a playoff team. I definitely think they have a good chance to be a playoff team. Their chance to win the Super Bowl was last year. The refs decided, no thank you. But Dez Bryant's going to have the ball all the time. He really will. Even though he's not my number 1 guy, Dez Bryant's a great guy to grab because you're more likely to be able to draft Dez Bryant because you're not going to be in the top 4 of your draft. Number 1, though, is obvious. It's Antonio Brown. Big Ben's going to throw the ball to him all the time. They're not the, heavy defense, run the ball up the middle type of Steelers we had anymore. Todd Haley has changed this into more of a passing attack. Antonio Brown is pretty much the consensus number 1 pick for wide receivers. I don't disagree at all. I think he'll do great things out there. I think he'll catch the ball a lot. He'll score your touchdowns. He'll get you lots of points. You're going to be thrilled. You're going to be thrilled if you get any of these guys. Even Odell Beckham, who I said is not in my top 5, surprisingly enough. You're going to be happy if you get any of these guys. Still, stick to your running backs if you can get one of the top running backs first. But these wide receivers are going to do great things for you if not. Check out some of our other videos for other facts, other thoughts, other strategies, all things to get you prepared to draft the best fantasy football team you can so you can win. And you cannot be like me, drafting Jordy Nelson and now losing everything, especially your money. Don't forget that we started a Patreon page. Go to patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcasts to check out all of our reward options. Remember, you can still get our content for free by subscribing to our YouTube page. But if you want to support us financially, now you can be rewarded for doing so. The link's in the description. What are you waiting for?